They found an Egyptian in a field and brought him to David. They gave him water to drink and food to eat, part of a cake of pressed figs and 2 cakes of raisins. He ate and was revived, for he had not eaten any food or drank any water for 3 days and 3 nights. David asked him, "To whom do you belong, and where do you come from?" He said, "I'm an Egyptian, the slave of an Amalekite. My master abandoned me when I became ill 3 days ago. We raided the Negev of the Kerethites and the territory belonging to Judah and the Negev of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag." David asked him, "Can you lead me down to this raiding party?" He answered, "Swear to me before God that you will not kill me or hand me over to my master, and I will take you down to them." A breakthrough. He found someone who knew where the raiding party was. But wait a minute. Who was going to lead them to this raiding party except one of the very men that actually ransacked David's village? Do you get this? It's not just some stranger who says, "Oh, you know what? I saw these party go by. I'm from, Syria or whatever. Yeah, I saw these people." No, he's meeting someone who was there, who perhaps took his own wives and children and threw them in the caravan. Do you understand what David must have been going through when he meets one of the people who went into his village and burned it down? How many of y'all know David was tempted when he heard who this man was to reach for his sword? Do you get this? The anger that must have burned in him. He found someone who was part of the kidnapping of his family. And it was easy at that moment for David to give in to his anger and to pull out his sword and kill the man. But if he did, then he just killed the man who could have showed him where his family was. Do you see? He learned, now get this, David learned to control his anger when he needed an answer from God. And see, I started thinking about this as I read the story, and I realized that in a very practical sense, the same thing happens to us all the time. And what I mean by this is, whatever you've gone through, you recognize it's not enough that I believe God that He's going to turn it around. I have a part to play. I need to do something, but I don't know what to do. Have you ever been there? I don't know what to do to heal my marriage. I don't know what to do to bring my kids back to Christ. Pastor, I don't know what to do to get back my wealth. I don't know what to do about this infirmity. Pastor, I don't know what to do. And that's when you need someone to give you a word from God. You need a sermon, an advice. You need some counsel. You need someone to speak into your life. But you know what happens when we have someone speaking into our life? Sometimes our anger boils up. We're thinking that person who's trying to advise us does not know what they're talking about. Have you ever been really low? And it's like you're down to you're as low can be. And then somebody comes up to you and they offer you their advice, what you should do. You know, when you're low, you can look at that advice and say, "You know what? You don't know what you're talking about." And immediately you're angry at that word. Somebody says to you, "I had a dream about you the other day." And instead of being excited, you get angry. Somebody says, "I've been praying for you. And when I was praying for you, God told me something to tell you." And when they tell it to you, instead of saying, "Hallelujah, someone speaking to me from God," it's, "How dare you tell me what I'm supposed to do? You think it's my fault because my family's like this. You think it's my fault that I lost my wealth. You're trying to tell me what?" How many of y'all get defensive when somebody tries to offer you advice? Come on, are you there? Because that's the person that's trying to give you the direction on what to do to get back what the enemy stole from you. But instead, you don't know what you're talking about, and you pull out your own sword called the tongue, and you whip them. Leave me alone. You don't know what you're talking about. And you get defensive when somebody tries to tell you something from God. But see, they're trying to help you, but instead, you're defensive over it. Friday, I got a call from a lady, And I answered the phone. She goes, oh, you're Pastor Brown. I just finished reading your book 3 times. I said, well, that's great. I need help. I said, well, how may I help you? She goes, well, I have demons, and I don't know what to do. I said, well, are you going to come to El Paso? Oh, I'm too poor. I said, well, are you going to come to one of my meetings nearby you? I don't know if I can. I said, well, sister, what do you want me to do? Well, I want the demons gone. I said, all right, tell me, how do you know you have demons in the first place? Well, I do. And then she described why she thought she had demons. After she described it, I said, no, sister, you don't actually have demons. Because she gave it away. She says, oh, I've had people pray for me. And nobody can cast out the demons from me. I said, sister, my book covers your situation. And I gave her the chapter. I said, you remember chapter 13 or 14? I covered that. Where somebody thinks they have a demon, but they don't have a demon, but instead they have a demonic thought that says you have demons that don't leave. See, and you have a demonic thought, and I can't cast out the thought, but the good news is you can cast down those thoughts, and then I gave her scriptures. Now, you would think she would be excited, right? She's talking to the author of the book. She's read 3 times. She got him on the phone. She would say, oh, thank you, man of God. No! She got mad at me. How dare you say I don't have demons? Most people get mad when I tell them you have demons. But now she's mad that I tell her she doesn't. Figure the logic on that. That's like going to a doctor and say, doctor, do I have cancer? No, good news, you have no cancer. How dare you tell me I don't have any cancer? I want you to tell me I have cancer. Explain this spot then. No, if the doctor said you don't have cancer, really? Oh, hallelujah. You would think she would say, hallelujah, thank you. But no, she's mad. Oh, you could hear the defensiveness. I said, sister, you don't have the symptoms of demon possession. I said, what are the demons making you do that is wicked and sinful? Well, nothing. Well, then why would they want to enter you if you're not going to do wicked things? Because that's what they like to do. And then she got mad and she said, wait a minute, the demons just told me to quit talking to you. Bye-bye, bye-bye.